Congratulations to you and your football team. Represented the Big 12 very well. If you will, before we get going, introduce the players you have with you.
Okay, I've got Enoch, I've got Billy, better known as Kyron, Chuba, smile a little bit, Chuba. All right, Justin and Taylor. You want me to opening statement?
Opening statement. Go ahead, Coach.
So,
you need a mic. Share that mic. There you go.
First off, I'd like to thank AutoZone and the Liberty Bowl for a fantastic week. The city of Memphis and everybody involved. It's been tremendous. This was a very, very traditional bowl, somewhat like back in the day when I played 100 years ago. And we had a great week, and we're very appreciative. The weather worked out for everybody perfect. I was glad that we were able to play the game in the right way. And wanted to congratulate Coach Odom in Missouri. They're first class. He's a first class guy. Got to know them a little bit this week. Their team is really good. They compete. We knew that we had to play really physical football in order to give ourselves a chance to win. So I couldn't be any more proud, but it's been a terrific week for us. And these guys were willing to pay the price for a month and come together as a group. Coaches made adjustments. And like a lot of games that we play in our conference, as I said on the press conference a few days ago, that Missouri would fit right in. And it ended up being somewhat of a shootout, and defense made play at the end. There was turnovers that were big plays, but in the end we found a way to get a stop on 4th and 1. Couldn't be any more proud of the guys sitting at this table with the leadership. Couldn't be any more proud of our team, especially rallying when we lost a few guys with the targeting, and then when Rodriguez got hurt, we were down several guys in the secondary. In fact, if one more would have went down, I'm not sure who would have went in at that time. But I was proud of those guys for competing and making plays and finding a way to win in the end.
Questions? If you'll raise your hand, we'll get a mic to you.
I'm Mike, Darren Knight from Pay Media Group. You brought up the targeting situation. I know the culture is to make it safer. Have they gone too far on that rule? As you said, you were a victim of it tonight. We've seen it all year, though. What could be done to tweak that?
I think the correct calls were made based on the rule. We know what the rule is. Our guys were really wired up to play physical football. We knew that we had to play physical. So we have to do a better job of coaching them, staying below the chest. I think the rule needs to stay intact because ultimately we want the game to become safer. It's a violent game as it is. It's a tough man's game. So when we can stay from the chest down, it'll make it better. I hate to see players go out, but I think in the end that's the only way we're ever going to control it. So we have to do a better job of coaching them and drilling them when they get in that situation to keep the hits below the chest.
Taylor and Mike, can you guys just talk about offensively tonight? Taylor, it was kind of a roller coaster for the offense for you. What was that like? And then Mike, just reflect on what Taylor did tonight, but then also just what he did throughout the season for you guys.
Go ahead, Taylor.
It all started up front with the offensive line. And then we got the ball rolling in the second half. We made some holes for Chuba, and he got through there. And then Tyron had a bunch of big plays tonight too. He stepped up big. Really everybody did. Stoner had some unbelievable catches. Third downs, Wolf did too. The list goes on and on.
So really, Taylor, he missed a couple throws, but so did their guy. He made one mistake, and he knows that the second interception, he has to have a biological clock going off. And the one thing that happens with quarterbacks in spread offenses is the field's so spread, there's guys running all over the place that sometimes they try to make a play every single time. And it's okay to pull it down and run or throw it away. But that's going to happen sometimes. Other than that, his game was really, really good. His mental approach and the way he handled their defense was really good.
Mike, you guys obviously had some communication issues having coaches on the sideline. When did you guys learn that was going to have to be the case? You weren't going to be able to communicate with the box, and how did that affect you guys throughout the game?
They told us 10 minutes or so before we went on the field what was going to be the final result with communication. The home side, or whatever side that was that Missouri was on, theirs was up and running, but ours wasn't. And it's interesting with headsets is it's a gentleman's agreement on what you do. The officials don't control it. So to a certain extent, Missouri could use their headsets. At some point, we might need to adjust that rule, but Coach Odom's a first-class guy, and we talked about it before the game, and he said, if you guys don't have them, we'll put ours down. So we decided to each one of us put a couple guys up top with a telephone, old school stuff. Everybody else came down at the bottom. I thought it went pretty smooth for us, but as you know, we call plays, and our quarterbacks control most of what happens out there anyway. So Mike did a great job. Jim's on the ground anyway, and he was able to function like always, but Mike did a nice job of adjusting. And Coach Knowles had to work without information, which is not as easy. So both guys did a nice job throughout the game.
Steve McGarvey, Associated Press. For Taylor, just what former walk-on you end your college career by tying a Liberty Bowl record with touchdown passes? Just what's this kind of mean for you to end your career this way?
I mean, it's a great honor. I mean, great feeling to just go out on top. As long as we get the win, that's all that matters to me. I don't care about the records.
Good? Oh, go
Question
ahead.
right there.
She can go first.
Hey, Mike,
We'll go there and then here.
there's a report out there that Mike Yursich is leaving. Can you tell us anything, whether that may be true or what details are out there?
Nothing other than what we talked about yesterday. There's a lot out there at this time. There's a lot of coaches moving around, and so it would be unfair. And I'm going to say the same thing I said yesterday. There are a lot of schools that are interested in Mike. It's not anything different. It's been that way every year. And so at some point, he'll have to make a decision on his career. And as a follow-up from yesterday, we would love to keep him for a long time, but at some point he may move on. And I'm sure we'll know, well, I say in the next few days, but anything can happen. But at this point, nobody's told me that there's anything that's concrete.
Mike and then and Justin as well. Mike, on the fourth down play, it looked like one of the last things you were signaling to the guys was to watch out for lock to pull it. And then Justin, if you could take us through what you guys were reading on that play and what you saw.
Go ahead, Justin.
So pretty much, it was a great play ultimately by our young safety.
Is that not working? That microphone?
Ultimately it was a great play by our young safety, Kobe Peel. At that type of moment during the game, everybody's just trying to be disciplined and just make sure you got your eyes on your keys and things like that. So I think everybody, was disciplined at that moment in time, and everybody played their role, and he came up with a big stop for us.
Is that Peel's read on that?
I have to go back and watch the film, but he made a great play.
Coach will have to go over that with you. I know he had to do two things. I'm not a defensive guy, but I know he had to be prepared for a pipe play-action pass and had to run the guy down. So that's why it was a really good play. And everybody else is kind of cramming up the middle, right, Coach? That's right. So he had to make a play, and he turned the Jets on. Like Justin said, he got the Jets going there. So it's a heck of a play for a freshman.
Tyron, obviously they put a lot of coverage on Tylen. Talk about your performance elevating to kind of make up for them kind of trying to shut him down.
I mean, the O-line gave Cohen, time in the pocket to make throws. Cohen did a great job today. And the safety was kind of like cheating over to two. And we knew that coming into the game, so I knew when my number was called, I would have to make a choice.
Tyron, it seems like you have some of your best games in the biggest games that you guys play. What is it about these big games that you kind of get up for, maybe more than some of the others?
I don't know, man. I love big games. Like my high school coach, I always get on me. I always play like homecoming games. I'm like, I won't play or something like that. And now we come big time games, I come make plays. It's just confidence in myself, confidence in my team. These guys, tremendous guys, great coach. Coach Gundy got us fired up for the game, and we was really fired up to play, and it was awesome. Man. It's just to play with my brothers and send the seniors out on a good note.
Mike, just to kind of tack on to what Jenny asked about Mike, and she mentioned there's a report out there. The report says that his office is already cleaned out. I don't know if you can shed any light on that. That's what.
Where was that report from?
Robert Allen.
Robert, I got no idea what his office looks like, to be honest with you. I mean, seriously, I don't know. Let's just stay with the bowl right now, and these guys that played a great game. I know you got to do your job, but let's just stay with the bowl and the performance and everything going on here right now. No disrespect.
I got to follow up and ask what Coach Gundy did to get you guys fired up for the game.
Don't tell.
Y'all can't do that. We can't get out as exclusive like that.
My mom would tip over back home. So I'll just say this. I asked them to take the challenge of playing in the SEC and being more physical than them in a different way, different language. But other than that, what I asked them. And they did. And I want to say this. Like Enoch and the guys that are here, this is the way we used to play. Tonight we played like we used to play in 07 and 08 and 09 when we were trying to establish Oklahoma State football, and we were physical, we competed. This is the way we used to play. This is the way we have to get back to playing. I'll say that. And they took the challenge, all of them, even like guys running the football, were physical, okay, across the board. And I appreciate their effort and their willingness to take the challenge and compete against a really, really good team that's in a physical league.
Brian Brinkley, KFOR TV. Coach, you mentioned playing in the Big 12 and what you had to deal with there with shootouts and things like that. Did that combined with the kind of crazy roller coaster season you have kind of pay off tonight in keeping your boys there in the fourth quarter?
I think it did. Defensively, our guys, we had them backed up a couple times and they made plays. There were several times that we had them in 3rd and longs, and if we had to do it all over again, it might not have gotten to this point, but they have a really, really good offense and a quarterback that's fantastic. Just like the play made on 4th and 4 to convert at the end. I mean, we got him. We got a great call. We're in his face. Our coverage is not bad. He makes a throw falling down. So I think all the shootouts that we've been in, these guys have been in for 4 years. I think it did help.
Don Wade, the Daily Memphian. Mike, could you just kind of take us through the fake punt call, what you saw, what made you want to go with that, and then how big getting the block right after that on that series?
Well, we had a good call. And Hockett actually thought that the guy was going to run him down from the backside. And so he stayed outside. If he would have had to do it over again, he would stick his foot in the ground and go vertical and have a really good chance to get there. But he kind of felt the guy that he really shouldn't have felt. But at that time, I felt like we needed momentum. We had numbers. We had worked it for a month. I think it was 4th and 9. We would prefer it to be 6 or less, obviously, because we ended up a couple yards short. That was kind of the call, but we had practiced it so much and it was there that we wanted to use it. And then our defense came out and made a play. We put them in a tough position down there. And at a crucial point in the game, and they were able to get a stop. And then I think Mike Scott got both blocks, didn't he? And Mike came through and tipped one and forced a miss earlier and then got the block later. And very well could have been the biggest play of the game.